So Caesars has President's Trophy winners odds up, which I found really interesting because Florida is now the favorite versus the field. Florida has now moved to minus 120 based on their recent hot streak, but they're only 3 points up on Boston. They're only 3 points up on Vancouver. They're 6 up on the Rangers, but the Rangers have a game in hand. Like, this seems like there's some value in these other teams, right? Like, we're talking about only the slightest stumble from Florida, opening up at plus 800 at Boston, a plus 650 at Vancouver, a plus 800 in New York. It seems like there's a good value in those to chase down Florida, who doesn't have like a prohibitive lead to make them the favorite versus everybody.
Well, and not only that, but the other thing you need to consider right now is that if you were to look at just a somewhat generic, if you will, ranking of strength of schedule. So all I'm looking at here is opponents' winning percentage for the remaining games. You're talking about Boston and Florida when it comes to most difficult remaining schedule. Boston is number 5, Florida is number 7. I mean, they've got a tough remaining schedule when you look at what they are up against to try to get to that President's Trophy. So, I think it's one thing to talk about where they sit right now in the standings, but you're also talking about a couple of teams that do not have an easy road to be able to get there. It's not to say that they can't, but that strength of schedule is tough for both of those teams in the Eastern Conference. Vancouver, middle of the pack. They're basically right around 14th or 15th when it comes to remaining strength of schedule. So, do I think Florida can do it based on what you just talked about in terms of their recent performance? Sure. Do I think Boston can do it? Yes. But those two teams also still have to play each other twice in the regular season. So something is going to give between those two, and they both have very difficult schedules down the stretch.